Okay. I hope that you can hear me right now. I do apologize. My mic must have dropped off. Okay. I hope that you can hear me right now. I do apologize. My mic must have dropped off. Okay. I hope that you can hear me right. Okay. So anyway, first of all, let's say welcome back. I do thank you for joining me live for another map session, and pretty much I've been trying to come up with some good ideas to show you next for my next stream. So one thing I say, you know what, dealing with incarnate.com, the website I normally use to design my maps and stuff like that. I have never. I was thinking, I was saying, like, I have never designed a city map before. Um, Pretty much, this is my first time. It's pretty much my first time doing a map like this because the fact is, like, I was always a bit intimidated by doing a city map. So I think it's about time for me to get over that. So, yeah. But before I continue, I would like to say, number one, do check out my book series, The Dark Ichalocha Of Terres Nei. That is available on Amazon.com. And also, what you can do as well is check out the website, post it in the link below, and get all the free visual content that as far as like you're not able to see in the book series. Also, I am working on trying to get an audio book done for the web series. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I am looking at some things right now. So for those who don't have time to sit down and read, you can most definitely go to a streaming service, and that will allow you to listen to the book on the go. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, hey, I know you saw that, but trying to check something like that. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, so pretty much a lot of good things happen for the book series. I do have a lot of plans that I am currently working on, to be able to get this out to people, in multiple formats, whether it be digital, be book. Well, like I said, well, I'm not really doing books, excuse me. But also audio, pretty much like I know audio is very popular, so I am working towards to getting that content out to you in a way that that you're able to digest it. Whether you have time to sit down or that you're on the go. But anyway, without further ado, I would like to say that let's get this started. Because I'm pretty much excited and nervous because, like I said, this is my first actual city map. Now, as I was, so pretty much with this website, incarnate.com, I'm pretty much a big fan of it. Go check it out if you ever want to do map design. And it's just one of those things that is worth the $5 a month. If you ever decide to invest in it. This is all the content. If I'm not able to do photography. Oh, mention again, I do have a photography. I do have a photo shoot to do in next month. So I like to throw that in there. So there will be some more additional content coming up this year with that. But anyway, as I was saying before, like this is a great way to create some digital content. Like if you want to design your cities and stuff like that, or you want to design a world map or a battle map. It's great for people who do RPG games. You can plot that out, and so yeah, I'm pretty much excited about to do something for the first time. Now, as you've seen here before, I always do this. I do this in most of my videos when I'm working with incarnate.com. I do show you the features as far as like what type of maps you can use here. You got fantasy battle map, watercolor cities, watercolor battle maps, and parchment world and fantasy. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna choose a city. A watercolor city. But this is gonna be more like a 2D slash 3D map. Pretty much I am gonna do an overhead map, but I would like to try to give it more of a visual context. So I'm pretty much stuck between watercolor cities and fantasy regional, but I'm gonna stick with fantasy regional right now. Excuse me, I'm gonna stick with watercolor city because I think that's the most important aspect to the map itself. So what I'm going to do here, pretty much what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to pretty much find a map that I think is that is doable for what I want to do. What I'm trying to do is this. I'm going to try to design one of the maps design a city in one of my book series. Well, in my book series, the entire Ichalocha book series is called the Illuminarium City, which is in the first book, and it talked about the whole book. But Illuminarium City is basically like the focal point of Terres Nei. One of the key cities, well, actually one of the master cities, the master city in the book, in the book series, excuse me. So pretty much like right now I'm just basically trying to figure out what map kind of suits me and stuff like that. Also, I want to make sure that I maintain the trueness of the map as far as like where the city is placed. Now I know for a fact in the large map overhead, the city is placed like it's placed within the mountains. Also, would I decide? Would I design the? Would I textually design the city? Of course, all cities has rivers. Excuse me, it has rivers, but also more important, a siege wall. Of course, I'm gonna do a moat. All types of stuff that's gonna be that's gonna represent the city. So right now, what I'm gonna do is this. I am gonna do this 3D map, right? I mean 2D map of a watercolor city. It's gonna look strange for me because I never did this, and I think I like this one better. But let's look through some stuff, some of the stuff, let you know what you can design. Excuse me, woman. I have bad sinuses, so excuse me for snorting, for bad habits. Also, I am a Bigo Live, so if I'm looking off to the side of the screen, that is the reason why. Also, I'm looking to go, think about going on Kick.com soon as well. I do have an account there, so we'll see. But yeah, back to what I was saying, like these are like pretty much the cities that you can choose if if you ever decide to do one. I'm going to choose this one right here. To just get started off. Now I'm going to let you know right now that I'm still new to Incarnate. This is my first time. It's been a year since I started using the product here. The open source, not the open source. Use the website here to design a map, and like I said, this is my actual first city I'm doing, so it's going hopefully don't look like crap. So anyway, but I'm here to grow, and so yeah, so bear with me. So right now, I chose the city. Let me go back. I chose the watercolor city here. I thought it was the most accurate description of the Luminary City, capital city. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to choose this style here, and choosing this style, you know, um, you know, it just I just want to see what it looks like. Now, if I don't like it, I may just go ahead and just design it from ground up. Not quite sure yet, but we'll see. Matter of fact, I want to take it down to 2K because last time 4K Ultra was too much for the RAM. So in order to for quicker uploads and stuff like that, I will definitely want to try a lower resolution or a lower format for the map and stuff like that. So here we go. Well, right now what it did is this: it gave us a blank canvas like before. So what I want to do right now is that I'm going to design. I'm going to design the whole terrain, the terrain itself. I'm going to go off visual memory, pretty much how I designed the city in the book, or how I described the city in the book. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Let me figure this out real quick. Um, you know, let's see. My kid just walked through the door. So right now I'm like I said, I'm feeling a little bit intimidated, but I'm also excited. So let's do this. Let's just go ahead and just turn all this, turn the background green. And then I'm just going to build from there. So pretty much I grab my tool here. I'm going to build up a landmass here, a major landmass. I'm going to turn all this green. And I will be adding or taking away this is a canvas, this is a painting canvas. So let's just get started. Right now I'm going to go to background, choose a texture or a color. Right now I want to choose a texture. Right, I want to do a let's do this right here. I'm gonna do this right here. Change all this, to and I can always go back and I can always go back in and take take away stuff. But I really just need this area here to be green, because like I want to build off of it, and then I'm going to take away from it, right? So right now, and also what I'm going to do is this. I always imagine that the city is like massive. The Illuminarium City is very massive in a way. So I'm most definitely going to think about a bigger scale. Once I get started. Now I do want the matter of fact. Let's do that. Let's do massive right now, because I need more room. I feel like I need more room. The bigger the better. Don't feel restrained to. Don't feel like you have to be restrained to one particular way. So right now I'm just making it bigger. Confirm. Also, I have to give a couple of disclaimers here. For number one, I do have my window open, so because it's hot in here. Please bear with the noise outside. You may hear a little something going on there, and also I have my fan right here as well. If you hear a little whining or whirling sound, that is the reason. Man, I invented the city and I can't spell it right. Wow. So yeah, and maybe next time, I will try to do other cities around, in the map, that I will be going accordingly to the book, So here we go. Let's wait till that, gets, save that. There's not really much to do right now. Also, what I found out was best to do is you may want to come up with some type of design, draw it on paper. I have drawn out the idea on paper when I want it. So pretty much, I already have a good idea what I want to do. Okay, and we want to fill this other stuff in here as well. Let's see, not that one. I think I screwed up. Let me see what this is. Let me see. Yes, let's just keep what we got right here, because I most definitely want to keep the texture, Also, Beagle, I'm going to address Beagle real quick. Beagle, thank you for coming along. I do apologize for not looking at you. I am doing a live stream on YouTube. So please, if you desire to join me, for more fruitful content, as far as seeing me actually design a map from scratch, I am on YouTube. Look for Ethereal Author, and you should see a live stream happening right now. So yeah. Anyway, so pretty much what I want to do is this. I most definitely want to do it this way, right? Make sure everything's filled in. Now, what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna add some mountains in the background. I'm just building off the map. I just want to build everything off, because this city is gonna be small, but where the map is, the city's gonna be huge, but it's gonna be massive. It's gonna be a lot. I want to create a lot of detail, building up the city and stuff like that. So I'm gonna look for some mountains, because the focal point of the city, the Illuminati crystal pillar, which is the massive cornerstone of the realm, where all the energy gathers to disperse throughout the land to enhance it with magic. That's where the focal point is going to be. So I think I'm going to nestle. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out do I want to do a diagonal effect? Put the mountains here. I don't know. Let's see what we can do. So let's look for some mountains first. I want to look for that. And you see they gave me overhead map. So let's open up the catalog. So this is pretty much what they given me. So like I said, this might be a mixture of 2D and 3D. I'm not quite sure. Depending on what it does. Like I said, it's gonna be a little bit both. It might be a little bit Rembrandtish. I don't know, but The reason why I'm looking for mountains right now is because the fact is that like I said, the Illuminati crystal pillar is nestled in between some mountains. So they don't have the mountains here for over here. So I'm gonna go straight to 3D and just build those mountains. And I'm gonna right now I'm gonna think huge. I always think huge. And also, please forgive the noise in the background. My wife, she likes to sing. And this is another reason why I say you have to be careful about choosing a resolution because it can slow your RAM down. Also, it could be additional to like I am doing the stream, so it is probably taking up a lot on the RAM. So always keep that in mind. Okay, so I can't find anything here. So let's go to regional HD. Let's see what we can find here. Excuse me. Okay, so we found some models that we have used before. So I'm going. There's like there's some models I want to choose here. I'm going to choose let me see which one. These are green large, green small. Now it doesn't have to be just large small because pretty much like you can always enhance the scale on the map and stuff like that. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to nestle around here because like I said before, I'm just basically just creating a mountainous city. Now I can't always go back and change it. Like I said, this is basically just a stamp tool. You know. Matter of fact, let me see. You know, see if we can make it better. Now the mountains are green. I can always change the hue, which I'm going to see if I can do that. Change the color. Go to advanced settings, and we're going to see transform. No, that's not what we want. Color. Okay, here we go. So let's see this real quick. See if I can change the saturation of hue. Cause I wanted like a more of a brown, a greenish and brownish color. Yeah, there we go. That's something I like. Now, just because I have a green pasture or something like that, that's fine. Like I said before, I'm basically going to try to build off of it. And this, like I said, this is my first time, so we'll see how it works out. So let's do this. I'm going to make the mountains bigger. Like I said, I want you always want. I'm thinking on a huge on scale. There we go. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take this back down a bit. Matter of fact, I don't like that. I like the smaller ones better, but we'll figure it out. Bring it down in size. All right, and I do want this to curve in. Now, here's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to think about two things, right? I'm going to think about, number one, the first of all, I want to think about this area here. Like, now it's time to start taking away some things, right? Also, I do want to run a river here. So pretty much like I said before, this is going to be a large map. So one thing I want to do is this. I want to make the palace itself. I want to build off the palace, right? And I'm just going to expand out, I'm going to expand out from that. Also, I'm going to throw a little water. Maybe I'll throw a little, little mountains right here. And also, I'm going to add a little, maybe a couple of mountains here as far as, like, maybe the city is kind of like, this is like the gate part of the city, like the inner part of the city, or to enter the city. Like I said, always think huge. And pretty much it's just nestled in there. Now this is gonna be like I said, this is my first attempt, so I am pretty nervous about how it's gonna turn out. But this is pretty much practice for me. This thing does not want to move. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna place the pillars here or something like that in between the mountains here, because like I said, I'm pretty much building out, and there's gonna be like a little gate here, and I gotta create roads and stuff. It's just gonna be weird. So right now, I'm just gonna do this. Now I'm gonna add another asset real quick so I can just build off of that. And like I said before, I'm gonna add the palace, and this will be more 3D ish. And found a palace. I'm gonna choose maybe I'll choose a dwarvish palace or something like that. Okay, don't have nothing here. So let's see what universe we got here. Okay. And also, like you want to think too, like you want to think about floor plans too. Like, the city is just one thing, but think about floor plans of a building and stuff like that. Dungeon maps and stuff. That's a whole new beast right there. So right now, I'm just basically trying to find the crystal. All right, here we go. Okay, and I know this is gonna be huge. I'm gonna change the color in a minute. Now this is one thing I do not want to go off of. Also, I'm thinking about. I'm also thinking about different types of different types of like gates and stuff like that. You know, and I might just expand this part as well, so I can be able to get more into it. Um, that's one thing I'm kind of think about. Okay, so we got the crystal palace there. Let me change the color here, the form, the hue. Change to a different color. Let me hue. I'm gonna change the contrast maybe a little bit. Drop the saturation. Yeah, brightness. There we go. No, I mean, like I said before, I'm not really trying to focus on 3D. It's just one of the things that I want to worry about. Now I can already tell that I don't like it. As far as like how it's coming out. So what I may end up doing is this. I may just go ahead with the overhead. Not quite sure. Um, but let's go ahead and continue with this first. I'll try to do it next time. Stick with the overhead plan. And doing a map design. You know, let me see. Maybe there's like a moat or a pond there. This like maybe like the upper part of the city, mid part, and lower part. Never know. So one thing I want to do is next, like I want to put a central square or a town square. I'm already thinking about how this may look. Not quite sure how how it's going to turn out. Matter of fact, let's make the mountain smaller. So I can get more room in there, so I can make look more sense. Now, when I think about this, like I'm not thinking about the pastures and stuff like that. I'm thinking more of like concrete. Right. The reason why I did this first is to I basically did this first just to build off the terrain. Let me see how it looks. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to pretty much try to give it more concrete, give it a concrete color. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to change all. I say most of this stuff. But like, say this is like the inner part of the city, right? The inner part. So one thing too to help me out, I'm going to put a gate here too, because there are gates in the book series. That the mountains pretty much serve as a protective barrier, but also you got the outer gates, the siege gates. So let's get that in there right now. Okay, so it's open. And one thing I like about Incarnate pretty much, I didn't say they thought of everything, but they thought about just enough just to get you through in designing your map. And that's one thing I like about it, because the first time I thought about designing a map, oh shoot, man, I was thinking about using Photoshop, but like that would have been so tedious trying to use Photoshop, and then I said I would never do that again. All right, so pretty much what I'm gonna do is this: like there are L gates here. Pretty much you got your towers and stuff like that. I'm going to use this design here, pretty much to give it to give it give it more of a 3D stand here. So pretty much, also like I said before, you always want to think huge. I want to bring this in a little bit. Now, like I said before, if you need more room, you can always expand this out. Like I said, I'm already thinking about expanding it out as well, because like I said, I feel it's a little bit congested. But I want to see what I can do first this is gonna be like a prototype. Let's put it that way, prototype design, right? So that's what I'm gonna treat it as a prototype. Yep. So here we go. Pretty much I'm going to add more here, because like I said before, I want it to be, let's bring this in just a tad bit, a little bit more. Now I know that online there are people out there that has gotten so good with their designs, like I mean, like damn, Let me see. There should be another wall. Maybe I could use that. And like I said, don't be afraid to mess up. Right now it's like I don't have the best design here, but we just trying to. I'm just basically just experimental mode right now. I don't know if this is going to fit in, so let me see if I can find a better one. Trying to get it to line up. And then I'm also going to put some moats here, Let's go bigger. I'll tell you what. Because I feel like, because I do want something more outside the city as well, like this, like the inner part, Like I said, I want to think about this being a very, very huge city. And like I said, for time, I always intend to go larger on my maps, just so I get more detail. Because right now I do feel like I said before, I always start off small, and I always end up spending out more. And also the reason why I do that is because I always think about how human civilization are. When they start off, like they start off small, like a small pack of humans. Then they expand out, build out. So pretty much that's how I'm working with this. I'm pretty much expanding out. From a small area. So saying that, that's one thing you can also think about too. Always think small, but think big. Think big. Well, you gotta do both ways. Think big, and think small. Start off small, but you always want to expand. Yeah, that's how you should. You think small, but you always gotta expand out. I do want to give it like a little border here. Bring it up a little bit, but think small, but you always want to expand out. All right. I know I'm kind of taking a little time here. Just bear with me for a second. I like how that looked. That was unintentional, but that's fine. I mean, I just gotta go back in here. I like how that looks. It looks almost kind of like a world that's coming together. So let's fix the background a little bit. But let's fix it all the way because I gotta fill it in. But before I do I am going to leave some water here, or go back and carve out some water later. You know, I know it's kind of look weird right now. That's how normally it does. It does look like weird, and that's fine. You know, it's gonna expand this out a little bit more. All right, and this is what I was telling you about. Like, this part here, like this is like the city itself, or the city itself. The mountains kind of border the sea, so I'm going to take that water out for the sea, so we can get a little bit more depth into it. Like I say, this is all mountains here. You know, I may have to ignore the 3D part, 3D wall, because it seems like it's just taken away. But we could say this is here. All this is mountain, but back in the sea, the sea area is going to be here. So let's get rid of that part right there. What am I going to do? I'm going to go here. I want to got here we go. That's what I want to do. And the reason why I'm doing that, because I feel like I need to break that up. I'm gonna add a little rock terrain back here a little bit, so we can base of the mountains would look weird. All right, so that's water. All right, let's see. All this is water up here as well. And like I said, don't be afraid, because you can always go back in. No, let's do this. They just add more mountains for now. Like I said, I can always go back in and take it away. Don't want that. All right. Okay. Let's treat this as our city right here. All right. So right now, what I'm going to do is this. Let me move this map over here. It looks kind of odd. Now, right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn all this. I want to give this like pavement in here. This one I'm going to be a pavement and roads. But what I want to do as well, I want to create a river here. So I'm going to break it up here, and do a subtract. See if I can. Oh shoot, sorry. See if I can create a river of sorts. Um, but first, let me do this. What? I think I fucked up. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to think. Okay, let's do this. Let's do add, and let's go look and see what we can add here. Foreground. This helps do land mass. Okay, shape edge. Okay, I see what's going on. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see what happens now. Now, as you can see, pretty much, I don't like that. It doesn't look right. Let me see if I can get it, get the edge to fade in a little bit more. I want to change the roughness too, because as I said before, prior to the videos, you always want to change the roughness and stuff like that. Let's say this is a river right here. You know, give me 1 second. Let's get my daughters in the room. Hey, babe.
Hey, Dad.
All right. I'm sorry. So pretty much, I'm basically trying to figure out what tool to use here. Like I said before, I'm not really, familiar, how to do something. But I am trying to design maybe like a moat or something like that. I'm not quite sure how I want to do it. But I know for a fact that I need something here. I most definitely want a wall, but maybe this is a large river, you know, that leads out because there is a river that pretty much is like a border to it, you know. And I'm basically I'm basically just trying to figure out what I want here. But let's do this right now. One thing I know for a fact, this has to be. I want this all concrete, you know. So let's do this. Let's take the water out first, and we just like I said, I would just build off that concrete background. So let's see. Let's go find the background here. Street stones, I like that one. But let's keep looking. Yeah, terrain, water textures, winter, elvish. Okay, let's see. You got farm textures. Let's try to look at some of these street textures. Now the thing about it is like I do. It's kind of all right, but I don't really like it in a way where it looks. Also, I say like before, but right now I am kind of like casting judgment on it right now because the fact is, I'm just looking at how it looks. So I'm going to try something here. I'm going to try. Let's see. This is watercolor. Let's see water background. Always shift through your options. Because you got dungeons, you got castles. Um, I don't know. You got temples, Let's try fantasy world. See what they got over here. And like I said, you always want to shift through, see what you can find. This is more like nature stuff, pavement. Let's try this right here. Let's just make a decision. Let's see what happens. Now, here's the thing about it. Now, I know I covered the whole thing, but now I'm about to do this. One thing I can do is this. I can do this, figure out what I want to do. Like I said, I'm just basically just building off of it. And I'm going to take. I don't know. So let's go back here. I'm really kind of like at a loss here trying to figure things out. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to create roads first. Let's see if I can create a city road. Oh, that's cool. They got like a grid shaped block here. What is that? I don't know. I've never seen that before. Also, they give you different ways to apply. Let's try this real quick. Nope, don't want that. And I do encourage you to just keep trying. It's a process. This is better. I like this better. That way I can expand out and see how to do this. Because I do want the city to be able to expand out. I'm gonna bring this in like to the mountains a little bit more. And I'm going to add a little waters here. A little pathway water here. Who knows? Like I said, this is a sea area as well. You know, water pretty much can leak down into the chasms. Let's say this is like one of your maps here. Say this is like the. Let's try this. Let's try this first, okay? All right. Next, I'm gonna do a town. I'm gonna do a city square. I'm gonna go deep within here. All right. I know it looks kind of like janky right now, but you know it's a process. Also, I'm gonna go in here. Yeah, I want a little water around here. You know. All right. Okay, so anybody got ideas for like major roads? You know. I mean, there's many things you can do. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna darken the pavement of the roads. You know. See how that turns out. And I do want that stroke line there as well because the fact is that's only giving me more depth within the outline. So let's do this. Let's go to advanced settings. Let's make this darker. See how this looks now. I do want a road to come from here. See, that's like a bridge. And you know, basically right now I'm just basically doing a planning of how I want this how I want this. Say this is more like the city's focal point here. I'm going to add a circle here to do that. Say this is like one of the inner city's focal points here. You know, say this is like the main road. You know, anything that you could think about. You know, it can that will be able to get you to where you need to go. And I can always go back in and clean that up, clean that fill up. You know, matter of fact, let's do this. Let's add an asset here. And the asset is going to be really small. And I'm going, like I said, when I say small, I mean small. Maybe it's like the major points of the city or something like that, or a citadel. Let's do something, a tower, anything that anything that you feel like what you want part of. Thank you for the follow and Rose on Bigo. Anything that you want, I say really test out these assets because assets, is really going to help you create that visual. But don't overdo it, especially if you're doing 2D maps. You're trying to do a combination of 2 to 3D maps. It can be confusing. I know it has confused me, so that's why I say be careful. But don't let it deter you. Experiment. You may come up a way of your own process, and that's one thing I do encourage you. If you ever decide to become a fantasy map cartographer, just don't be afraid to really just dig in there and come up with your own style. I know pretty much. I am still working on creating a style of my own, with the fantasy map. Okay, so this looks very 2D ish. So let's go back to Fantasy 3D, see if we can find something. I may just go back here and just change the color. I'm not quite sure. I just want. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's just put that there for right now. We could go back and change it. And I just basically just put that there so I can have something to reference the roads. Say this is like a town, like a city square or something like that. And also, I will be branching out different types of roads and stuff like that. I want this to look like a mega city or a megatropolis. That is my aim. But in the meantime, like I said before, just don't worry about messing up. So let's do this. And I'm not gonna complete this right now because in my next video I will continue where I left off. I just basically just want to get the just build the foundation of the city. Figure out like what's what, what's going where. Let me see. Like I say, it's just one of those things that you're not going to get right, right off the back. Of course, we all know it's a process, and one thing I say, take pride in that process because, it's gonna be rewarding. It's gonna pay off. So let me do this. Let me see if I got that. And basically, right now, I'm just creating major roads to, outside the city. It just, roads are not, pretty much. Are not pretty much straightforward. Some roads, sometimes some roads have that. Some roads do have that. Have that straight line, but pretty much I like to do my roads like rivers because, especially like in Detroit or any other cities, roads are not that straightforward. Let me see. One more thing. I'm gonna add some more roads here. Then maybe I'll do some village stamping here. To give the city some life. That's too big. But the thing is, building a megatropolis, is like, you really have to know what you want from it. Basically just building sectors of the city. It's just working it out. And one thing I do like about the assets, like the assets pretty much adds, more. Assets can pretty much be stamped in. And the assets itself does have I say some has like borders within the like small villages and stuff like that. And that's what I'm going to add. That's what I'm going to add in here is basically small villages in the map here. And like I said, I'm basically just going to build off of it. Say that say this is gonna be a moat around here. Let me take that away. It's kind of like distracting me. And I'm gonna throw. Actually, gonna put this put a wall around here, and make this green again, or put a moat around here. We'll see. But right now, I'm basically just trying to figure out where I'm gonna have my city. And say there's I'm just basically just putting an imaginary wall right here. I'll fix that later. Not if I can fix it now. Oh yeah. So pretty much this is what I got so far. And I just want to see if I could build off of it, So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go in. I'm going to add the walls here, see if it works out. So let me see if I can find some assets first. It doesn't look perfect right now, but like I said, everything is going to have to be touched up later. And I said maybe this is the outer wall, and I do want to add another city here. A larger wall here outside here. Maybe that's like outside. This is like the outer city part, and this is the inner city, like the major part of the city. You know. But right now, I'm just basically just trying to get this together. See what we could come up with. Like I said, it's not really perfect right now, but I'm just basically just working through. I'm just basically just working through the assets to see what we can find. So let's do this. Now that we got some major roads here. It's not perfect. Like I said, make sure what you want. As a matter of fact, so let's see if we can find an overhead like city, like we could build a wall around here. Now, if I can't find one, I may just have to like darken the area up or something like that. But they do have something I can stamp on here. So let's see what we can find. I know I don't want to use 3D. Let's see. Let's try watercolor cities again. Now they do have walls here. Desert fortifications, castle bridges, siege weapons. I just want to see if I can find something that's unique. And I will be choosing one of these 3D designs, because the fact is, like, I don't want it to overpower. Excuse me. I don't want to overpower. First of all, let's put some gate houses down first. Like I said before, let's make that big. Because like I said, I do want, maybe this is like the eastern gate. Throw another gate here, and throw another gate here. Do gates. One gate leads right. Leads to a road. Now I may replace that with a bridge here, with the roads here and stuff like that. Right now I just do not know what to do with it. Actually, let me check something out. Because I may redo the roads itself, because if it has like roads that I can just splatter on here. Let me see something. Roads. I just want to check something out real quick. Because to be honest with you, I really haven't like shifted through a lot of these assets, because I really wasn't working with them. But it's always best to just make sure you go through, see what you can find. See these castle bridges, desert. See, this is what I was talking about. This is what you could use to build your city with. You know, see these small cities right here, grand temples. These are mostly like overhead. Now, since you know, yeah, I'm not. I don't see any like roads that I could plaster on here. I do see bridges and stuff I can use. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and build the metropolis area. This seems like this has a lot of smaller buildings. Here. I really kind of like digging, and you could always, I don't know, you could always like go in and change the color. I do want to change the color, give it more of to make sure it stands out. So I probably just, I don't know, I just whatever feels right, or wherever what I see is right, It's basically I just want to change the hue, change the color, change the contrast, make sure it sticks out, um, you know. Or I may just go back in and just give it a gray, but like basically this is one thing I like about it. 'Cause you can just basically just plaster it on here, you know, and you can create your city that way, You create your own trop, your metropolis. And one thing I said also said before, if you do 4D, once you push this out, you could pretty much just basically just everything goes into detail itself. But yeah, that's one thing I like about stamping. Pretty much this stuff stamps on by itself. Um, you create your own city. Say also there's like there are like major buildings in the pretty much major buildings, in the series. Now I know it kind of looks kind of like weird. I am going to add some stuff here like trees and stuff like that because I do want it to be colorful. Now this is my first time testing it out, so doing this because I have never, and when I say never, I have never done a city map on this grand scale. So because I know for a fact right now it doesn't look right. It looks kind of I know it looks kind of weird, but right now I basically just want to create just give it a sense like as if it was a city. Like if you look above, you know a small city. Then I want to add an outer layer here. You know. And also one thing I made a big mistake too before I did this video. I did not do any research, so I might start from scratch. But yeah. So yeah, this city map it sucks, but it's something. Like I said, this is my first time. I will be next time I will do a little bit more research. I just really just want to test out. See how far I can what I can do. Um, maybe I can go back and test some stuff out, see what's going on. And right now just basically just playing around with it. I really don't have a design in mind, unfortunately. You know, I'm pretty much just winging it like I did my first did with my map of Terres Nei. Just pretty much just doing a little winging here, see what I can come up with. You know, so yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm not really pleased with this map here, but like I said, I'm basically just testing things out. I will do next time. I will create a template before I do anything else. But yeah, this is just one of the things I was telling you about that what you could do with it. Also, they have other assets too. I'm gonna open up. I want to check out. They got the cornerstone, so you can be able to fit angled blocks here. Angled cities along the line. You know. And this is one of the things I don't like either. One thing I don't like about other things is that I don't know. With this map here, it just seems like doing a 2D map, like it just doesn't really hit hard like a 3D map. Everything looks overhead. And what we could probably do is it probably would help change some of these colors out too, change the hue, see what we could work with. You know, change the saturation. Also I might changing the blacktop can help too. Now, like I said, the city does look kind of bland, so like if I ever choose to like well, when I come back next time, I will definitely have a template ready for you guys. To go. Right now, this basically just testing things out. But but like I said before, like I want to add like borders around the city here. That'd be like the moat and everything. I do want to add like I don't know another wall here or something. I'm not quite sure. Like this is like and I do want to add like another city. I will be designing something over the weekend. Maybe do a map over the weekend of an idea, get an idea of what I want, and then Maybe I can do a rough sketch or something. I'm not quite sure. But I most definitely want to do something that is more planned out. Right now, just basically just playing around with the map and see what I could come up with. You know, um, and just basically just playing around with the assets, see whatever I can find to make it work. Let's see if I can find a wall here, because I really am like beasting about this wall, like a good siege wall or something. And also, I wanted to say, like, the one downside I don't like about Incarnate is, like, now I'm not quite sure if they have it here or not, but I haven't seen the catalog. But I think they're supposed to be adding something more with science fiction or sci-fi. You know, maybe that's what another site, a website. I'm not quite sure, but I know I've seen something like um, adding sci-fi, would help with my book series, because science fiction is involved with magic. Everything's interwoven in between the book series and everything. Within the elements. I really try to put a lot of work, a lot of thought behind stuff. So say if I want to give the streets some just some full eyes. Maybe the streets. I ain't saying it's paved with gold, but like I said, this is like a realm that's based, takes pride in the elements and stuff like that. You can throw some trees here. I don't wait a minute. Don't okay. Say like this is a nature based city. You can add little stuff here to give it idea. Also, I can you could probably add a river coming through the city if you would like to. Just something to think about. So one thing I'm going to do is this, like I'm going to end the stream here and come up with a better idea of how I want a better street plan or a floor plan, overhead plan of how I want to do my city. I will do some I will do some testing over the weekend, but like I said, this is my first design, and I really kind of like, I ain't said this. I'm not disincur. I'm not. What's it called? I'm not proud of it, but I know for a fact I can do better, which I am gonna make sure I do next time. Hopefully, I can do next time. I do like the mountains here and stuff like that, because it does add a 3D effect, and then you have your town. Also, I think it's missing some rivers too. Even though cities do have rivers run through it and stuff like that. So maybe I think about that. Think about the rivers. Think about the more of the design. Because pretty much some cities are like this. Round base. Some are jagged. With the metropolis. It all depends on how you feel about it. Also, I would try to discover more assets, see if I can find more. But right now, like I said before, this is just my first attempt. Maybe I can do this here. Add a 3D map. Add stuff here to give it more of a flair. We just play around with it. Basically, I'm just gonna play around with it, see what I could come up with. Like I said, it's not one of my best works. Not probably. But anyway, I'm going to end the stream here. I do thank you all for showing, coming up, with those who join me live, seeing me do a horrible job on my first map. I most definitely will do a better job. Maybe I will go more 3D, 3D with the textures. Matter of fact, before I leave, let's see if I can find, before I leave, I want to see if I can find some structures, cluster structures like I found here. Now the problem is, like they do have 3D structures, but not clustered like a Metropolis map. These are more like in depth, like you go into more in depth into the you're going more in depth into the, what's the word I'm looking for? You're going more in depth into like with visual effects. Matter of fact, let's test something out real quick before I leave. And see, we got the bridge here. Let's see if I can find. I really want to find some. I most definitely do more like Babylonian and Elvish. They do have some Elvish designs here. I really like the Elvish designs better. You got the fantasy regional. They got some good stuff here. You can use. Let me see. I'm just basically just looking real quick. They got pirate for those like water towns and stuff like that, water cities. Let's try bike. Should I try? No, it's just something. Let's just try something. You see fantasy world what they got here. Elvish icons. Here we go. Yeah, so pretty much, this is what I was looking more for. So pretty much, let's get rid of this real quick. I don't even want to save this map. I just want to see what I could do with it to give it more eye appeal. Let's see what it looks like when I do some stamping with the Elvish. If Elvish works out, I will try to use that more to give it more of a 3D effect. Cause okay, right now let's see. Also, make sure it has a number behind it. Pretty much like say like this right here, because pretty much this is like a single stamp. But if you hold down on the button here, it gives you multiple stamps and stuff like that. It also gives you different types of buildings. So let's do this. Let's turn the size up, because I really, yeah, that's much better. I mean, it looks very clustered, but that's how buildings mostly are clustered. So, and plus it gives you a better visual effect too. So maybe next time I will experiment with that to see how far I can take it. You know, because yeah, it looks kind of fuzzy right now, but when you push it out later, it's gonna look better. You know what I mean by pushing out is like when you export it to an actual JPEG file, it's gonna look a lot more crisp. Matter of fact, let's do it right now. Let me see if I can push it out, see what it looks like. As a matter of fact, I might just build up the city first, then take out the worlds. Basically trying to figure out a process. Now let's push this out, see what it looks like. I'm going to export this image as JPEG. It looks kind of weird right now. That's fine. So let me see. I'm going. Yeah, okay. Let's push it out, see what it looks like. Save, export. It may take a minute to push out. I know 8K doing 8K maps. It takes out a lot of time doing an 8K map. I feel like this doing pretty well, pushing it out. Yeah, maybe I should just build a city up first, because number one, I think I'm gonna go back to working with 3D and be a lot more mindful of not to overcrowd things. Now, as I said before, I said before that I was going to start off building out the terrain first, but maybe I should just start building the city off first, then carve out the cities. Carve out the streets, because doing that will allow me to have a lot more rain as far as figuring out the pathway, to the city. Continue adding. So let's see what this thing looks like. Just bear with me 1 second. I gotta go to download. Excuse me, my nose is itching. Let's see what this thing looks like real quick. Now I'm gonna zoom in. Let me see. Open with I'm sorry, this kind of taking a little bit longer here than I expect. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me switch the window out. Let me go to my OBS here. We'll switch the window out for you, see what it looks like in HD. Alright, here we go. I think this is it. Okay, so as I said before, okay, can y'all see that? As I said before, this is what it looks like when it's pushed out. The HD is the when it's pushed out. It seems like it's a lot more better. It's better, and I am going to start off with the city first. Then I'm going to do the roads after that. Yeah, I think that might be best because I really don't like the way it looks. Let's see. Can y'all see that real quick? Stretch that out. Let me check something out real quick. Make sure y'all can see that. All right. So pretty much this is what it looks like, like when we push it out. Now, like I said before, I really have to like think about how I want the city to be before I attempt to do anything else. I don't know why it's not. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm over looking at my screen like I'm kind of buffering out. Yeah, but anyway, if y'all can see that, this is what the city would look like up close. If I'm quite sure it would look a lot more better, look way a lot more better if you print it out. But I'm most definitely going to. I kind of somewhat like the cobblestone, but I also find the extra design a bit distracting in a way. So I may think about that as well. Think about that next time. But anyway, I do thank you for coming along here, joining me live, watching me do my first horrible city map. Not the best, but you know what? I bet you next time I'll do better. Anyway, in order to please check out the book series. Is available it's available at Kindle for Kindle. If you got a Kindle app, you'll be able to buy it. It's very, very cheap, very low price. You'll get your money's worth. Also, check out the website. And in addition to that, I do hope you have a great day. Take care and peace. Love you all.